If it's sitting in your garage, your basement, your bedroom, it's obviously not going to sell. Hey everyone, Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures, sporting the throwback sweatshirt today from back when I coached my son's youth basketball team way back in 2008. Hard to believe that's been 14 years ago now. Anyway, so far, 2022 has been a really good year. We're about 40% year over year from last year, and hopefully now with March starting, we'll continue that momentum moving forward. I'm going to talk about a couple of booth sales today, as well as a couple of online sales. So hope you enjoy. If you do like the video or feel you learned something, make sure you click that thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. And let's get started. We'll start with a couple of booth sales. First off is this covered wooden tray, which was made in Indonesia. This sold out of our Bearden booth. Took a couple of weeks to sell. Sold that for $26. Picked it up at one of the thrift shops that I frequent. So our cost of goods sold in that was just a couple of dollars. Next up, and this is also from our Bearden booth, it's this home and garden party bean pot in the magnolia pattern. This was picked up from a Facebook Marketplace sale where I bought a whole set of the magnolia china for, I believe, around $125. By the time I pieced it out, my cost of goods sold for any given piece was around $1 or $2, and that sold for $25. These are some of the last pieces that I have in this pattern, so hopefully I'll get the rest of this sold pretty soon. The last item I'm going to mention from the booth is this stamp album, and it came from a large estate that I bought out. Cost of goods sold in that's probably only a couple of dollars. It sold for $50. Sold really quick. Probably was worth more than $50 if you went through and valued all the stamps, but I don't really have the different watermark tools and perforation guides to know exactly which variety of stamps things are. So based on what I had in it and the amount of other stuff I've sold out of the estate, I figured $50 would spare, and somebody has a good start to a stamp collection. Moving into the online sales, the first one is a Facebook Marketplace sale. It's this Wherever cookie gun. It is vintage. I believe it's probably from the 50s. This sold for $25 plus the buyer paid shipping. And this was part of when I bought out the other reseller at one of the antique booths where I'm located. This sold really quick once I got it listed. It sat in my bedroom for a long time. And, if it's sitting in your garage, your basement, your bedroom, it's obviously not going to sell. So anyway, got it listed, and it sold pretty quick. The next sale is also a Facebook Marketplace sale, and it's this vintage Electra Bearcat scanner from the 70s. This was bought from somebody who reached out to me, who had a bunch of stuff to sell. So in addition to this scanner, I got a lot of glassware and other cool things. This sold literally almost immediately after listing it for $30 plus the buyer paid shipping. I thought this was a really cool item. Moving on to eBay, this was just one of several plates that I sold. I believe it was 8 of these Spode Victorian children plates with the Christmas theme. This one happens to be the snowball fight plate. But I picked all of these up at a thrift shop for around $2 a piece and sold all 8 of them in the range between this $18.75, where I'd taken a best offer, on up to the full asking price of $25 for each of those. These actually sold across multiple platforms as well. I believe I sold a couple on eBay and a couple on Etsy, and maybe one or so on Facebook Marketplace. So also from eBay, and this is a 1969 lunchbox play ball. This sold for $22 plus the buyer paid shipping. This came out of the same group of items that I mentioned on the Bearcat scanner, where somebody reached out to me. So this was part of a pretty big buyout. I paid a couple of dollars for this. This would have even been better if we look at this next picture here. It originally came with little magnetic playing pieces. And if those were included, plus the thermos, because this was just the lunchbox, did not have the thermos nor the plain pieces, it would be well over $100 if it had those plain pieces. So if you're ever out and you see this lunchbox, check to see if it has both the thermos and the little magnetic markers that would let you keep score. And I think it may have had a spinner of some sort. I can't read the instructions. Well, there we go. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it had a spinner and some little magnetic pieces. I'm going to mention this sale not because of the amount it sold for. I mean, it sold for $12 plus the buyer paid shipping. This came from a thrift shop, so not a bad return. But the reason I mentioned this, notice the name here, Gail Pittman. I thought it was cool because this actually sold back to the person who designed the plate. This was, from the 90s. Not sure why the person decided to, to reacquire this, but thought it was cool. It went to the pottery studio where this was originally made. So that's why I'm mentioning that item. The last item I'm going to mention is this copy of The Shining by Stephen King. It's not quite a first edition, but it's really close. I'm not sure exactly what printing it is, but based on this gutter code of MP7Z, which I found in the back of the book, I was able to do some research and determine about what I should list it for. Originally listed this at $42, took a best offer of $31.50 plus the buyer paid shipping. I did have it set for media mail, but a lot of times in these cases, the buyer paid for media mail. I went ahead and upgraded it to priority mail. That gave me the insurance. Also got it there quicker, but that difference between the two is only $3 or $4. So it's a good way to make your buyer happy. I picked this up at a thrift shop where I buy a lot of books because they're all 79 cents. So really good return on investment. And I believe that's all I've got to show for today. Thanks for stopping by today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Just a reminder, if you did like it, click the thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and we will see you next time.